Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode, unplanned episode.
Well, as most things in life, things are unplanned, and that's kind of what this video is going to be about. Oh, by the way, my name is Jose.
You know me, and Nathan's just
in the other room.
occupied.
Yeah, because this is going to be actually kind of a serious video, but not like a depressing video. This is
a real life.
This is the FML update. So what this means is something that we've never really talked about was all the negative things that have really just like spontaneously happened to us in the past couple of months, couple years.
What happens behind the camera or what happens in real life that we just don't talk about or show because we're trying to be like a positive family, and you don't want to get home and, you know, go on your phone, watch YouTube and be depressed.
Right.
Trying to have a good time.
But the best thing that you can do in situations like those is stay strong and keep your heads up, be optimistic, and always look to your family for support and comfort, because they're really the only people that have your best interest in heart most of the time. But when you're going through a situation like that together, really the best thing you can do is stick together and be a team. And this isn't going to be like problems like hardcore like drama, you know.
No, but
like,
you know,
it does. We are going to be talking about situations or just events, I guess, that have just happened and in a big way really impacted how we're able to live our lives. I guess you could say it's something that could happen to anybody, but
these last few months and in most recent days, we've been feeling like, honestly, like we've been
feeling like life is out to get us.
One bad thing after the other. Like, there has been some positive, but like the negatives overpower. And I'm a positive person mainly, and I've like cried about this shit.
It's been really hard recently, and it's been bringing us down. So maybe that is why we haven't been like posting as much as we probably would be. It's it's kind of hard to explain. But
where do we start with the most recent, or what's happened from like the very beginning?
Like I want to start. So a lot of this stuff that we're going to talk about, we will be bringing up in a future video that we have planned, which is basically going to be a "This Is Us" video.
So you guys get to know more about us.
You guys get to know like all about us. A lot more in depth, and we're going to be bringing up the hard stuff too. But right now I think I want to start with the first time that we moved in together and tried to start a family together.
So from the first place,
Danny's courtyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we started living together, and it was a nice trailer. Dude, that was like my favorite place for living, honestly.
That was mine and Noemi's first home together.
Yes, it was a nice small trailer in a trailer court back in Bridgeport. It was out in the bar, actually. And it was an all-adult trailer court. We were the only Hispanics there and the only actually young people there.
Yeah, within the age range of about like
20-year-olds, because everybody else was like
18 to 25.
Everybody else was like
at least like 50.
Yeah, or more, above.
Yeah.
But anywho, we loved that place. We paid about $460 of rent.
Oh yeah.
And electricity. That was it. Everything else was included. And it was a 2-bedroom. Like, yeah, it was an old trailer. It smelled a little muggy, you know, but we tried keeping it clean.
Yeah, we definitely changed that. It didn't smell all nasty by the time we were living there for the first like week.
No, but like when I had my superhuman senses, I'd walk in the door and then I'd be like, "Bleh," because I could smell it and he couldn't. But that's because I was pregnant. Anywho, it was our favorite home, guys. We could have pets. It was just nice. No problems with the landlord. Everybody got along, you know. If we had a party, Jose would take beer to our next door neighbor and he'd be like, have a good time, guys. You know, it was so good. But we had to leave that home. We had to leave it because we were going to have a child and they didn't allow kids there, so we had to leave.
Mm-hmm. We tried pleading with them, but unfortunately, you know, it was
just the rules, you know.
Yeah, the regulations, I guess, that they had made up. So. And
they didn't like kick us out. We knew what the rules were, and we just went over and we're like, sorry, you know, and this is happening.
We decided to start a family, and we didn't regret it. So we had to lose our first home and make the sacrifice of moving somewhere else. So we had found a place in Bridgeport, which was a lot smaller, but a lot
nicer, more updated.
Yeah, it looked a lot more modern. It wasn't a trailer from like 1990.
It wasn't a trailer, but it was right in between a garage and a home.
So it was basically a guest house that we were living in. So our landlords were very obnoxious and unfair people who would break the rules of their own contract at times. And when we had moved in, we had signed this contract that had a couple rules on it. I guess the rule that we had broken intentionally, I will admit, was bringing a pet into the house. A neighbor of mine who was a close friend he had Rottweiler puppies, and I just couldn't help myself to not take up the opportunity of having a pet that my son can grow up with.
We were struggling, but we were pretty good. We both had jobs, and you know, we were getting by.
So while we were living at our old place, and
their rent was like $560. So boom, we started paying more.
Right.
So that was a bit more.
While we were living at our old place, I worked in the packing shed, and I was a segregator, so I would be in the freezer, lifting 50-pound boxes up above my head and stacking them in places where I had to be on like my tiptoes to reach. And I had to be doing this at a really fast pace, so it was basically like going to the gym for 12 hours a day. I felt like that job was underpaying me and overworking me.
And you had so many problems there.
Supervisors were very, almost aggressive. Like, to the point where one of them wanted to fight me. And I was like, you're my boss, so like, what the fuck is going on? But anyways, so I decided to do what was best in my own interest and quit that job. And unfortunately, that was not in the best interest of some of my coworkers who were actually pretty great guys. And I had to leave them with my work share. So I felt bad about that. But I had lost my job there. And Noemi was a security guard.
While pregnant,
working the graveyard shift. And her manager, or her boss, who we like to think...
I was the only girl working there, by the way, guys.
Yeah, which is why we like to think that maybe he had a grudge against her for being the female, for proving that women can do it, and especially one as small and fragile as Noemi. She had made the appeal or request, I guess, to move to the day shift where she can actually get a good night's sleep.
Or at least swings, which is from 4 to 12.
Right. And of course it was a request denied. So it was affecting her health and the health of our baby. Not getting that much sleep, which definitely is something that a pregnant woman needs. And
I almost got into a few car accidents because what I was doing was driving around in a truck and taking care of the area, you know, observing it. And there was a few times where, like, what woke me up, I don't know what woke me up, because not even the little bumps on the side of the road woke me up. I just went like this, and I saw two semis coming my way, and I swerved back the other way, you know? And, oh my goodness. And so I even got a doctor's note saying, please, you know, if she needs sleep, she needs rest, all this stuff.
The doctor's note even had mentioned that she was pregnant, that it was in the best interest of the baby.
And go ahead and give me a phone call if you have any questions. And I continued to work. I didn't see any changes. I talked to the boss. He was like, no, like you're staying this shift. Like there was nothing. Anyway, since I stood up for myself and I wasn't gonna let someone just talk me down just for stupid reasons. I mean, I was respectful, but I don't like being how do you say, treated like trash. And anyways, I was fired.
It's letting you guys know situations we've been in, and hopefully you guys, not hopefully you guys have been in these situations. I don't hope that. I just want that to be clear. But if you guys have been, if life has just handed you a bad deck of cards, just know that we're going through it too, right? There's other people out there that know exactly how you feel. So after you lost your job,
I started working at a daycare center in Brewster.
Yeah.
They hired me right away. Even with my certificates and everything, I was still making minimum, which was like $11 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was like, you know what? It's a job.
Right.
I'm going for it. And so I was working there. We were living in Bridgeport. Sometimes our landlords would show up without us knowing, like I was taking a shower and...
Alright, that's what we were talking about, our landlords.
Yeah, and then Jose's like, our landlords are here, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, the room's over there, what am I supposed to do, you know? What the heck? And
which was on their contract. They were going to give a notice before showing up to the door, and of course they would just show up anytime they wanted, and the phone would never ring, we'd never get any messages.
Our neighbors would tell us
whenever we were out, they'd come into the house, and that was a really big deal. One thing I don't think we've mentioned before, I'm sure we have, is that we're a 420 friendly family, and we're like responsible and careful about how we use it. I would smoke in the house, and it didn't say in the contract that we couldn't. So our landlords complained that we were breaking the contract, and we were smoking in the house, and we would point out the contract and say it does not say that we can't.
It didn't even say that he couldn't smoke tobacco. Not that he would, but like it didn't say any sort of smoking or anything. It was just he didn't like it and he didn't want him doing it. And it's like, dude, we're paying a price for this to be our home, and you're making up all these other rules. Like, yes, we understand we broke one rule. Yeah. We took care of it.
It was his own personal
view on it.
Yeah.
So I was the only one working. By this time, I had a better work. They personally came over to my job at the time, and they were like, you know what? We need you back. We would love for you to be a teacher. You know, they really wanted me there. I worked for them for 6 years, ever since straight out of high school. I loved working with kids and everything. It was great. So I said, yes, like that'd be great. Yeah, it's a better job opportunity. I was going to get paid about $16 an hour instead of $11 an hour. So I took it.
My wife, the preschool teacher.
So I went over and I started working there. It was getting closer to my due date. I was going to go on maternity leave. Jose without a job. My job wasn't going to pay me for maternity leave. Well, what were we going to do? So we had a heart-to-heart conversation with the landlord at the time. We were like explaining everything, and we were like, we might end up leaving, and sooner than when the contract ends. So if that happens...
We were wondering, since we know you and everything, and you know we've been good tenants and all that stuff, aside from our differences, that maybe we can still have our deposit back.
Because we really needed it. We needed any cent.
We needed that money. We needed
and that was $575, I think. He said, yeah, that was fine. I'm not even kidding. I have witnesses that were hearing this conversation. And I went ahead and called him again through the phone, and he was on speaker, and I had my aunt and my mom listen in, and they heard everything. Well, we moved out to my parents' house. That's the house that you guys see.
He waited until we had moved out and given him back the keys.
I was pregnant. Jose, we moved out. We started, like, I was freaking cleaning the house to leave it spotless, so it was like a for sure that we were going to get our deposit back, right? He was in Mexico, so we didn't talk to him until he came back like a week later.
He had to talk to his family and have them take care of the whole process of taking our keys and, you know, making sure that everything was just the way it needed to be for us to leave.
And guys, because of the move...
But he couldn't give us our money yet.
Because of the move, the next following day, not even one full day that I was at my parents' house, I needed to go have Nathan.
Did that whole thing with the rent money or the deposit money happen before or after we had Nathan?
We took Nathan with us.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
1 week later, we went and we went to his house because he wasn't answering our calls, and he was there finally from Mexico.
Straight ducking us, but we knew where he lived.
And he didn't like that we were visiting his house. He said that we were breaking the contract. I'm like, the contract's fucking over. Like, we're out of your house already. He came out with a paper. He said that he wasn't going to return any of the money because of the rules we broke. One rule that we broke. He mentioned rules, but the other was not there. And I was like,
oh, you guys had the dog. I have pictures that you guys had the dog.
And the dog situation.
And no matter how much we told him, we got rid of the dog. Like, yeah, we brought it into the house.
It didn't even stay.
But it didn't stay there for like more than a week. And then
we found a home for him and all that stuff. And
yeah, so
But that was the number one thing he kept bringing up. And then he kept bringing up like the smoking or the loud noise and stuff. And I'm like, that's not even part of the contract. That's not,
yeah.
But anywho.
So
we didn't get our money back.
He snaked us out of about $500.
No, and he said, sign this paper that you agree with all this that I said, and I'll probably give you half. And I was like, no. I fucking threw the paper.
She crumpled it up and threw it at him.
So there we are, living at my parents' house.
I got a job as a dishwasher along with my friend Lincoln.
And I went back to work after about a month. I went back to work at the daycare center. Mm-hmm. Finished off there, and then I was on unemployment because it's just a seasonal job.
All right, so that went on for a while.
Yeah.
And then the next year
season came up, and everything was going fine, but something different happened. The team that they promised me was coming back with me, my good team, was all changed. Nobody from my last year's team was going to be with me. And so that means getting used to not only new kids, but also getting used to new coworkers. And that's fine, you know, we could work something out. Thing is, there was one coworker that was new. Yes, we noticed that everybody noticed, not just me. There was other people that noticed that she wasn't paying attention, stuff like that. And so I went to my manager and I told her, you know what, she's going to be in my classroom and I feel like I'm going to have trouble with this girl. I don't have a good feeling about this from the very beginning. And she said, oh, she's new. This is her first job ever. And
first job ever to
be
working
like
with kids.
20-ish, around there. And she's like, you're a good teacher. You can work it out with her.
Basically saying, deal with it.
Yeah. Alright, so there I am. I had my full team.
But the main point of that, what you just said, was you reported it.
Multiple times.
Keep in mind.
There was a lot of issues going on in the classroom where she would use her cell phone, or she would put it to charge, or she would say mean things to the kids that she's not supposed to say, stuff like that. Each and every time, me and my other team members would correct her. We would talk to our manager about it. We would talk to our coach about it. And the best that they could do was, supposedly our manager would say that she talked to her. It didn't seem like she was talking to her or giving her any advice. Our coach would come in and she would kind of give us training all together, so she wouldn't feel like she was being like pointed out like you're doing wrong. Mm-hmm. And we have accepted that, you know, we accepted any help, stuff like that. That year was just, it was all going downhill, honestly. Like, from one year being pretty much called the best classroom in the whole center, from this year being the worst classroom in the center. things were not going well at all. When finally we thought we were getting to her and she was finally listening to us and everything, next thing you know, 3 of us, or like the whole classroom, they tell us, you know, you guys have to leave the premises. You're being escorted out. And we didn't know why. We were just like, what happened? The only thing that came to my mind was like, what did she do? Like, what did she do that all of us are in it, you know? Anyways, I'm not going to get into details. What's done is done. I'm no longer able to work there. It doesn't mean I can't work with kids. It means because of somebody else's actions, some of us were let go from that company.
Some people who had been
working there for 26 years.
26 years.
I worked
over
for
2
6
decades of their lives gone to the education and upbringing of small children of like migrant families, and they treated her like a criminal as well. And
when I asked what was the proof, I gave them proof of stuff, paperwork, emails. They didn't accept it. When I asked what was their proof, they said it was somebody's allegations. There was no video recording, no nothing. I straight up told them, you know what, I wish there was cameras in the classroom so this stuff would have been cleared out. Because I gave them witnesses, names of people that they could go to so they could talk and you know, speak on our behalf. Those people came to me and they were like, they never spoke to me. And that was a bunch of people.
It got so bad that Noemi had to contact a union to conduct further investigation.
It was just a mess, guys.
And without their help, honestly, everything would have been a lot worse than it actually was.
So like I'm saying, guys, it was a mess. That really did hurt me because I really enjoyed working there. My whole family has worked there, guys. Like, you see the like just how much we've given to this company overall and how we were treated in just a matter of seconds. So that, like I said, that really did hurt. Okay, boom, out of the job. I didn't have a job for the longest time, and till this day I still don't. But we moved out of...
Not that you haven't been looking.
Oh yeah, we moved here because my parents were planning to move themselves, and we also were you know what, we need to get our own home. Not that it was difficult living with them or anything. We just are trying to have our own family. We're trying to progress, so that's why we moved.
Yeah, we had lived with your mom for about a year.
Yes, Nathan's full first year, honestly.
Yeah, and we had so we appreciate all the memories that we have there for Noemi's family opening up their home to... And
now they're over here too with us, though. They're further out that way.
Yeah, they actually live in Wenatchee.
Yeah, we're almost there, guys.
So we had lived there, we moved here, and everything was going great. You know, I had a pretty easygoing job, and it's paying well.
But
we've been vlogging and YouTubing and doing our thing, and Noemi's been in charge of that. I'll admit, because you know,
I'm the stay-at-home mom, so I have to.
You're doing a great job, though.
Yeah. So with this new house, our rent went up to $750, and so you see how we're like, you know, it gets higher and stuff.
It hasn't been that big of a struggle.
Yeah, I know.
We've been doing everything just great. We've been doing fine. So we should start with your situation first, the money situation with the...
Yes, I was getting unemployment, guys. Right. I was getting unemployment. And then unemployment has stopped coming in because I missed one phone call.
They gave her a phone call saying...
For an appointment. It was an appointment phone call, and I missed it.
Call us back because of this.
As soon as I missed it, I started calling back, trying to get in touch. But you know, anybody that's gotten unemployment, even if it's your money. So yeah, even if I appealed, because I sent an appeal, my money's on hold right now. So I don't know if I'll be getting unemployment or not. And that's why I've been even more desperate and looking for a job.
So I was carrying the team for a little bit, which isn't that big of a deal. I don't mind. So when I started working at Panda, I didn't have a bank account. I did not trust banks because I had problems before with closing a bank account and having proof that I had closed the bank account. And
time goes by and they call him up saying you owe us money. And he has more reason not to trust banks.
I did not have a bank account when I started my job at Panda, so they said, well, we only give direct deposit, but what we can do is give you this card.
From Bank of America.
From Bank of America. They were paying me through my card, and everything was going well, very smoothly. We were living our lives, and everything was going so well.
Until recently.
When, about a week ago, I tried checking my balance, and I find out that my card's been closed. My money's on hold.
Mm-hmm.
They did not give me a notice. I did not receive any calls or emails or texts saying that this is happening and they're going to close my account on this day or for this reason. They just decided you can't have your money. I cannot access my money or even...
Nothing.
Yeah. So my card is completely useless right now. I had just gotten paid. This is why we're struggling right now, because I'm supposed to get my paycheck, and they're holding all of it, all of my money, and we've called them hundreds of times, literally hundreds of times, and we've given them all of the information that they want, everything, receipts, bank statements, proof of insurance, proof of a residence.
Mm-hmm.
We've
verification
given codes, all of my personal information that they ask for. We give it to them, and
sorry, the account is still closed. You need to do this.
Nothing that we do makes a difference.
We're at the point where I talked to our landlord. She's really nice, guys. We've been blessed with a wonderful landlord.
And she's been understanding, and she said she'll wait. We've been good tenants so far, and
yeah, but like I feel like it's horrible too, because like
it ruins our credibility. It makes us feel so bad that we have to be the type of people to say we can't pay rent right now.
And so we're in this situation where we did our taxes finally, but that was also a struggle. Because we couldn't get W-2s, because we couldn't get into an account.
That was just
But it was a struggle to get those forms, but we finally did it, and so we have money coming in that way. But guys, that money we were trying to save so we could buy our future home.
Our first home, to our permanent home,
because we don't
forever home.
We don't want to keep buying or paying rent for something that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really do want to buy our first home and pay for something that's going to be ours.
If you guys are going through a hard time, if you guys are feeling like losing hope, just keep your head up and know that there's going to be a rainbow after the storm. Stay strong, you guys. From our family to yours,
we love you guys.
Out. We're going to figure this out and
keep you along for the ride.
Wish us luck. Right.
So we're not gonna give a shout out in this video, guys. We're not gonna give thumbs up, subscribe, nothing like that, because it's a serious video. It's nothing like that. But Monday,
if you do relate to this video, or if you have a problem of your own that maybe you would like to talk about,
shoot us a message.
Maybe leave something in the comment box below.
So Monday our regular videos will be showing up, back to our positivities, and obviously you guys don't want to be in the negatives like us, but this video we did it a couple days before any of this happened, so you can see how uppity jumpity happy we
just
are.
had to let you guys know what's been going on in our lives, that it's not always the fun things, it's not always us doing a challenge or going out and like having a great time outside as a family. It's always...
We'll keep you in the truth.
I'm Jose.
I'm me.
And Nathan, I'm sure, wishes you the best for the NJ fam. Until next time, guys. Have a great day. Bye.